Brando Mitchell, also known as Bam Bam, and I am your co-host alongside.
Dewey Do Me, whatever you want to call me. Uh, we got a great guy. He's willing to listen to our bullshit and make jokes with us. Tony Miller.
You can call me Anthony, you can call me Antoine, you can call me Tony. You can call me Tony Moss, king of all paparazzis. You can call me the young Coleman Sheldon of the rap game.
Oh my god.
And you can call me whatever you want, just don't call me late to dinner.
Guys, what is your funny Hulk Hogan stories?
So for me, probably my number one core memory with Hulk Hogan is that he has the greatest sex tape of all time. My man was in the hotel room. I guess they had like a little security camera over here in the corner. And it was just a nice aerial view shot of and while he was in the middle of porking this woman that was not his wife, his phone answers. He goes, "Oh, it's my son." Answers it, "What's up, brother?" And I'm sure that made a bunch of people's day when they heard that.
There's a big pop. There's a big pop.
And another core memory I have is from Hogan Knows Best, which I don't know if Brandon's part from earlier is going to already touch upon that part, but where they gave him a CD that had I Love It by Young Jeezy. Every single track on the CD was I Love It by Young Jeezy, and he kept changing it because, he's racist. And eventually he just had the vibe with it, and he just started singing along, and "Hundreds on the table, 20s on the floor, damn was the mo, and I love it." And it was just funny seeing Hulk Hogan vibe to that song.
Also, can I just say, do you think that's what set him off?
Maybe.
Do you think that's what started it?
Was that where?
Was that the canon?
So much.
I'm thinking like Into the Spider-Verse. Like, was that a canon event? Like that? Like that's what started it all?
Here's what happened. I think he started listening to it. He's on the trailer. Yeah. What was the wife's name? Linda. These N-words with a hard R knows what they're doing.
Also, Dewey, you said it best. They gave him the A and he added the R.
Yeah. He uses the hard R more than the A.
Oh my god, terrible. Just terrible.
This is the best part about Hulk Hogan and the man, the myth, the racist. I have to use that joke again.
Yeah, I guess now. I mean, now that we've gotten that out of the way, actually, I think Dewey touched upon something. I think Dewey, if you can kind of like elaborate on that. I think you talked about like just like your experience, just like watching him as a kid, and just like how like you watch the shows and stuff.
Yeah, I love the cartoons. I love the toys. I loved everything about wrestling. I never watched it until I was like older. I got into the Attitude Era, Matt Hardy for life. But he was just around there. He was just like the biggest thing ever to hit wrestling. Like Cody Rhodes, basically, John Cena, Owen. But they're still not as big as Hulk Hogan ever was, or I don't think ever will be.
Dewey, you mentioned like how it was like okay, like Hulk Hogan had the cartoons, and like if we're going a little bit further than that, Hulk Hogan had the toys, and like there was obviously the T-shirts, and just like he was pop cultural. Like he was pop cultural in all respects, and like for whatever it's worth, like the more we talk about this, like we'll get into a different topic after this I want to talk about, because I think it's kind of misto that the other episode didn't get out, because Anthony put me on the spot about how many people who I count were canceled, and I only picked those that were African American.
Brandon was only able to think of people who got canceled who were of African American descent, and the only white person he could name was Kevin Spacey.
I didn't even name him. Dewey said Kevin Spacey.
He sat there for a while. He sat there for like a minute trying to think. I don't know.
You forgot Hulk Hogan too.
Yeah, and we talked about Hulk Hogan. I still forgot Hulk Hogan was
talking about Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, like, to be fair, like, okay, we talked about, like, Dewey mentioned about, like, the Wrestling Rover video. So, Dewey, can you elaborate on that a little bit more? You talking about, like, the artists from the art?
Oh, yeah, where you can't really separate the artist from the art unless, when their face is right in your, like, literally, the main thing you watch it for. You're there for his mustache. You're there for the yellow and red everything, because that was the best part. He was he was like one of the coolest looking guys out there.
He was, for sure.
He was a big beefy guy. For some reason, people love big beefy guys back in the 80s.
Oh yeah, Anthony, you talked a lot about like how you don't really watch wrestling, but you know about like the memes and the promos. What about that Big E promo? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Oh, the big meaty men slapping meat?
What?
Or are you talking about, I did construction on that boy's behind, because I could do the whole...
Do the construction one, please. In lieu of recent events that I'm leaving my construction job, I want to hear that one.
Okay. This is what I'm going to do. Because we got to, if we're going to reenact, we got to do it right.
All right, I'll be Xavier Woods. I'll be Xavier Woods.
So hold on, because this is what happened. There was only Big E.
No one's gonna get this joke. But I'll be Xavier Woods.
And he... Oh, I get it. Wearing a construction hat. So pretend this hat is a construction hat.
Okay.
Okay.
To be the interviewer, do not talk about the construction hat.
Big E, would you like to have a word with you real quick about your just recent match?
Yes. That's on Big E. Ando Colosea.
Oh, but you want to cancel me? Big E, can we just have a word with you about your recent match?
Oh, well, you gotta ask me about my construction hat.
Oh, is that a construction hat you're wearing?
Yes. Because I took the yellow tape and I wrapped it around the boys behind, and I said, Sami Zayn, we're gonna be doing construction here. This is a construction site. Put up the caution tape. Put up the yellow cones. I'm doing construction here on the boys behind. The whole row of houses. I built some sky rises. I built a community center. I built a community pool so that people could fly in and they could go on vacation. You know, so that they could have a good time. But we have a lot of renovation to do on the boys' cheeks here and on the boys behind. I paraphrased the out of that. That was not.
Oh my god! No, that was glorious. That was glorious. All right, hey Dewey, hey Dewey, can you do the Bosco freakout video?
Which one?
The Bosco freakout video. No, you don't know. No, he doesn't know that one. He doesn't know that one. The Bosco freakout video. I've never sent you. I've never sent you my favorite meme that's ever came out of like the group shot. Oh my god! All right, listen. This is Bosco.
This is what happens. I won't even give you the context of the Bosco freakout video. We'll just show it to you one day off record.
There's a record?
Yes.
The man will come into the group chat and ask somebody to send him this video. He never saves it. He never puts it in his camera roll. He just, periodically, every few months, every half a year, he says, somebody needs to send me the Bosco freakout video. And that's become a part of the meme at this point. I think that's more of the meme than the actual video itself.
It is. No, and the thing is this. It feels better when someone sends it.
Oh, you feel acknowledged.
Yes. I'm Roman Reigns.
I don't want to acknowledge him.
The only thing I want to acknowledge is my father.
So, with Kanye, most people's opinion of separating the art from the artist really depends on like how much they with that person or like how much they enjoy that person's art. Because like if like to use Kanye West as the example, like he could say all this super racist stuff and do all this super racist things, but people will still say, yeah, but he made Graduation. And
it's a fact.
And it's like one of those things where, for me personally, like I still enjoy Kanye's music regardless. I have like YouTubers and like comedians and stuff who've done terrible things worse. I mean, depending on who you ask. Where like I could still enjoy their content because like at the end of the day, I just want to laugh and watch the video. I don't really care. I'd like about whatever they did outside of that video or that space. And I feel like that's applicable to a lot of people. Yeah,
because like we talked about like Hulk Hogan passing away and like okay, like separating the art from the artist. It kind of goes full circle about like what me and like us. I'm saying me, Dewey, and Anthony were talking about, right? And the thing is, like Kanye is a good example right now that we have in society because if you really go back in time and you're just like okay, like in that conversation we're all having, I was talking about like okay, up until The Life of Pablo. After that, it was a rap. But then even after I said that, I was like okay, well the singles like Blood on the Leaves and Black Skinheads and like so on and so forth. Like it was still pretty good. But like as a Romani man and as other two Romani men here, I have to tell you that like it feels wrong saying like oh I still like Kanye's music even though I know why I shouldn't. But still.
Well, we could have guessed when he started singing about Black Skinheads.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, when it comes to Kanye, his fans are not gonna care what happens because they're always gonna hit you with that. Like Kanye West could my father tomorrow, and someone will say, "Yeah, but he made Graduation though," and I'll be like, "Yeah, honestly, Flashing Lights is a banger." So it's just one of those things where.
Okay, so I couldn't. Okay, so actually, our next guest. I'm not gonna say who it is, but Anthony, you know who this is. This was like my second coming of like the Bosco Freakout video. So I'm gonna play this real quick, okay?
You already know we got the gypsy drip. You know when you go down drip in the gym, you gotta dump it the wrong way. You gotta have
Okay, wait. All right, you know our friend who speaks Creole, Anthony.
I believe I remember you telling me.
Okay, remember when? Okay, I'm just gonna say it out loud. Remember when Chris went to the steakhouse and then he recorded himself speaking Creole out because the food was so good because he had Creole food for the first time, so he's going.
Yes.
Okay. That's the video. Matt, play like 3 seconds of that video. Don't play any more or less. We talked about actually like how Kanye and like all the good stuff. I think like just kind of like talking on like a more lighter note. I went to my first wrestling show 2 weeks ago. No, not even. I actually went. Oh yeah, about a week ago. Yeah, I went about a week ago. I went to my first wrestling show ever. I actually went to Saving a SmackDown in Boston at TD Garden. It was pretty good. It only sucks that I went to a show where everybody decided to go on vacation this week. And I really mean everybody. Like the Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, they took a vacation. Cody's on vacation. Randy Orton's on vacation. John Cena didn't show up in his hometown, which was the crowd loved that.
What?
Yeah, no, the crowd loved that. Let's see. The OTCs were there. I could rewatch the clips and like figure it out, but like basically like okay, the OTCs were there, which is the other Bloodline faction. Sami Zayn came out to say that he's a part of SmackDown now. The dark matches were really cool. I got to see Aleister Black. I got to see Rey Fenix. Got to see R-Truth. Tiffany Stratton and did I say Tiffany Stratton? Yeah, Tiffany Stratton. Jade Cargill. That was really cool. Chelsea Green. Who else was there?
Chelsea Blue.
Chelsea Green. Chelsea Blue. My father. Paul Miller.
Paul Miller was there?
Yeah, Paul Miller was there. Steve Miller was there. Steve Miller was there. Oh my God, no. God. Yeah, Steve Miller was there.
Was there like a policy for him to get there?
Yeah, there was.
Well, Hulk Hogan, because he got the policy on Hulk Hogan. That's why he was there.
Paul Miller got into the ring, and it was kind of sick promo on Steve Miller talking about like how like the only time you want money is when it's in blood. And the next thing you know, Steve Miller came running down with a briefcase, the Money in the Bank briefcase, ironically. And as he was running down the ramp, he actually slipped. And when he slipped, the briefcase flew up in the air. Paul Miller caught it, and then he looked down and said, like, "I don't like this because the briefcase is actually a darker tone than I appreciate." And then from that point, they got into a fight.
Wow.
Yeah, sick.
Formal apology to all of the non-gypsy viewers.
They know who Paul Miller is.
Well, they know who Paul Miller is. They don't know who Steve Miller is and all that. So
I think they can do Google search. They know who Paul Miller is. Google search him.
Huh?
He's that famous now.
I just want to say a formal apology. I'll apologize to you in my language. Spidamless Bobul, Halal Shonak, Goafchida David Spade. That's how you say I'm sorry in our language. And
David Spade. Praise David Spade.
That's
Anthony, what's your favorite word in Womanes?
My favorite word in Womanes?
Yes. Not.
I mean, none of them are family friendly.
All right. What about you, Dewey? What's your favorite?
Yours.
Anthony, no. I'll get to mine in a second. Dewey, what's your favorite word in Womanes?
Yaka.
Yaka. What is yaka? Like eyes?
Eyes.
Yeah.
Yaka. Yeah. All right. My favorite. You guys want to know my favorite?
Oh God.
You guys want to know my favorite? You want to take it? You want to take it back to the early days of Xbox? You want to take it back to the early days of Xbox? Hold on. I don't know where I should come. How I should approach the microphone. Can you guys hear me like loud and clear?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Hold on. Actually. Teatro del Sepágico. Yeah, that's the word. Goal.
I think I really like Speed Demless Bobo because it's just
Speed
funny.
Demless.
It's a funny sentence.
Speed Demless sounds like a wrestler.
Speed Demless.
I don't know if you're home alone. But I want to tell a story real quick about Anthony. One time I called Anthony, and he completely stopped talking to me just to make this joke. He went, Brennan, could you imagine if you were a wrestler and you wrestled yourself? And I'm like, no, I can't actually. Where are you going with this? He's like, imagine. You do it. I don't know if you could actually do it, Anthony, but like, could you can you do it right now?
I can.
All right. So to give you some context, Anthony was just like, yeah, imagine if Brian was a wrestler, I'd be like, now fighting in the blue corner for the way the Kaijai do things, Michael Stevens. And then fighting out of the red corner for the way the Wama do things, Brando Mitchell. That was fucking great. You completely stopped talking. You just did that. I'm giving you the quick version. Anthony did that for about 5 minutes. And he held that tone.
I did it like I did it for like a whole 10, 15 minutes of just the announcements, the hometowns, his family, everything.
He did. I was there. It was on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Brandon, I mean, this is Brandon and all of our friends, but speaking for just myself, me and Brandon have a lot of jokes where it's basically just either me making fun of him or him making fun of himself.
Yes.
So, like, we have a lot of different...
Where'd he go?
Like,
I'm here.
The man disappeared. He doesn't want to hear this part.
No, I'm listening.
Man said, "Shit, I'm out."
I can't walk out. I'm the host.
We basically have...
I'm not Whoopi Goldberg.
We have this thing where we'll just say what the other person looks like. And I know one of Brandon's favorites that I did for him.
I have to sit down for this one.
Brandon has a lot of favorites. He remembers more of the ones I say about him than me. I told him, Brandon, you look like the background character in the movie Sky High. That in the credits, your name is just Bully with Fire Powers.
I remember that.
Another one is you look like an emotional lumberjack.
Okay, that was a good one.
And then
No, I got another one.
go ahead.
One
Brandon
time,
remembers more than me.
no, I one time said, guys, it's been a while. Can you just roast me? Because I was having self-image issues. I was like, guys, can you just roast me? And Anthony was just like, Bray, Brand told me a story when I was 25. I heard the end of the story when I was 27.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus, that's accurate.
Oh my goodness. I can't remember the other ones I said tonight. I had some bangers.
No, you look like the background character of Sky High. Stuck with me. That's when my hair was like super long. Just for context, my hair was longer and I was like really going through at that point. I mean, when you said that, I read it out loud, but I heard it in your voice. Yes.
Just put it in the green screen. This is what he looks
A
like
lot
right
of
here.
things, in order to make fun of Brandon, just name literally anything that's somewhat masculine and then just put emotional in front of it.
Do it. Give it a shot.
Masculine emotionally. I don't know.
Oh wait, no. What Anthony also? I had a hat like this. I had a hat like this on one time. We were all FaceTiming each other. I had a hat like this, and then Anthony said, "You look like an emotional truck driver."
Yes. Another one of my favorites that I remember is that I said, "You look like an emotional stunt double for the Crow."
Oh my God. Dottie. R.I.P.
Which crow though?
Both.
Oh, Brandon Lee. No, you know what? No. It's one of the stupid ones. It's, what's the name of the kid from Terminator 2? The real guy's name.
The kid actor who played.
Whoever the kid that played John Connor. He played the
I just call him John.
$2005.
Sean Connery? No.
Con Johnner. Con Johnner.
The Crow. I've come back from the dead for revenge.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Was the Crow good or bad? I never seen it.
The first Crow is amazing. They made 5 other movies, and all 5 of them suck.
All right, like I will say that me and my fiance actually saw the new one that just came out like last year in theaters.
I'm so sorry. I'm so
If
sorry.
you tell me you like it, I will go over there and stomp your head as you're unconscious.
No, like it's not. No, like obviously the movie was bad. Like the movie was obviously bad. Anyone who's sitting here saying that the movie was phenomenal is a fucking liar. I mean, like I could see why people would like it, but like I feel like it tried to be Crow 2.0, which that wasn't the point of the old one. The Crow was just the
Yeah.
Crow. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, to give you the lore drop on all the Crow movies, the first one is based off of the original novel. It follows Eric Draven. He was a rock star. I don't remember the specifics of how or why they killed him, but they killed him, and his girlfriend, he came back, whatever.
He was an emotional truck driver. Huh.
He was an emotional Brandon Mitchell.
He's an emotional dude.
All right, go on, please.
Long story short, all of the sequels to that movie did not follow Eric Draven. They made their own thing, like, oh, this is Cum Shot Ron, and he died, and now he becomes the Crow. And it's one of those things where each movie is a new person becoming the Crow. This most recent one, they tried to reboot the Eric Draven story, and it's just, don't touch that. Like, don't touch that.
No.
At least the other ones had the decency to try and make their own story.
You need Jared Leoto, and you need to make him a vampire, and make it. His name is Morpheus, and just release it like that.
But you see, it's funny because like both those movies came out the same year, and I'm telling you the truth, both of those movies had potential, but they weren't executed the right way. Morpheus could have been better. It could have been good. Morpheus could have been phenomenal.
Morbius. What I can't even think of the words. The tier F villain.
Okay, all right. You know what? If we're being literal, you're right. Like he's not definitely like you don't think of Spider-Man, think of Mobius.
I barely think of Kraven the Hunter.
Mobius.
He's awesome.
Mobius is a completely different person. Mobius is the guy from the Loki show.
No, Mobius is the city from Sonic Saturday morning cartoon.
Also, Mobius is from the Matrix.
Morpheus.
That's Morpheus.
Oh, Morpheus. Okay, you see.
You got Morbius, Morpheus, Mobius.
And don't forget about their pudgy cousin Obius.
Obius. Obius.
Obius.
Sounds like a Jamaican person saying obese.
Obius. Obius.
Oh no.
Oh, come on.
No.
Obius.
Diabeto.
Don't make fun of him now.
I love to I would love to quote Family Guy Diabeto.
Cut that.
Oh, Diabito.
No
The
cookie
only way
Diabeto.
you can make Morbius if you worked on him for 3 seasons in the background of a Spider-Man TV show involving genetics.
I agree.
I don't know how you get a Morbius that everyone to root for. Love him for being Morbius.
The thing is, you're not supposed to really root for Morbius. He's a villain. Like, I'll give you some more lore dumps because I'm a fucking nerd. Morbius was supposed to appear in one of the Blade movies, like way back in the day. He was in like I don't know if it was like an end credit scene because they didn't do those yet, but it was like the end of the movie, I guess. It was like the last scene. It shows a guy in a trench coat standing on top of a building, and that's supposed to be Morbius.
That's wild. He's saying
And the next movie, they did Blade Trinity instead, which just went nowhere.
Guys, I love Blade Trinity. I Will Die on This Mountain. I love the movie.
Never seen it.
I love it. I don't care. 1, 2 is fine. Those movies are great too, but 3 is just a masterpiece.
2 is the best, but Blade's just gonna kill Morbius in like 3 seconds. What are you guys talking about? And he was originally gonna be British, but they got Wesley Snipes.
Did you guys hear about?
Is Blade supposed to be British in the comics? I don't think that's a thing.
I just recently read about it.
Is he really?
I don't know.
He was until Wesley Snipes made him cool.
All right, I'm a day walker. All right, I'm just gonna take a little bite, just a little nibble right here.
I'm gonna hit you with my tallywhacker.
I'm a creature of the night, fellas.
Ew.
I'm a creature in the night.
Ew, and they're
I'm
gonna
a
give him
creature.
the
What if it was like what if it's?
Killmonger hairdo if he still had the.
Yeah,
the-
also-
Here, I'm not here to kill you. I'm just here to hunt the other vampires. I'm making him Australian, ain't I?
No, like what? No, like what? But like, what if it's like a Cockney? Like, what if it's like a Cockney like Blade? Like, it's not like it's like the Dick Van Dyke, like Dick Van Dyke.
Hello, cheerio.
Oh,
I can't
What
even-
was that, Walker?
no, I imagine like no. Remember from the Pick of Destiny when the guy's just like, we're doing British accents, and he's like, oh yeah, a wee baby. Oh yeah, a wee baby. Yeah, I like how English he was in that moment. He was just like, yeah, this guy's fucking stupid. Hey, we're doing British accents. Oh yeah, a wee baby.
That reminds me of the scene in Dewey Cox where he met the Beatles.
Oh yeah.
You know what? Get Paul Rudd as John Lennon as Blade.
What's the matter, Dewey? Where the Beatles? I forgot to do where the Beatles.
No, but I want Paul Rudd's John Lennon as Blade, but I also want that Blade to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Tony, you don't need to make a shield around the universe. We could just imagine vampires.
Yeah, everything's just a
There's no
crossover.
limit to the people you can protect if you can
Oh god.
imagine.
There's no limit. It's a dead parrot. It's a dead parrot.
You know what? I'm okay with Marvel What If.
Have you guys ever seen any of like the Marvel What If episodes at all or no?
I got the Captain Peggy. Was it Captain
Yeah,
Peggy?
I seen Captain Peggy, and then I don't remember which one was before that, or was that the first episode?
I think that was
I
the first
don't
episode.
remember.
I don't know. I just always thought it was funny, even when they did her in live action in Multiverse of Madness. Like they made the suit as if it looked like it was supposed to be made for a man. Like she had very
Broad shoulders.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
and like the chest was completely flat. I'm not saying, hey, where's the titties in my Marvel movie? It's just like it looked like they got Chris Evans in a suit, cut his head off, put her head on it. It was just very distracting for me.
I think that was the point. I think that was the point, though.
Really?
I think that was the point. No, because I think like it was up to her to become like the next person. So like she did what she had to do. And I think there was no resources, so it was just like, okay, you first come, first serve.
Yeah, she's a super serum. I don't know if it's genetically. No one ever talks about the super serum. I won't even talk about it because they don't. That never makes sense to me. But she was okay. And then the one that I thought was going to be really good was when what was it? It was a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
And which one was it with the? I forgot her name. Scarlet Witch and the Vision.
Mm.
Yeah, that was
a
good.
fun one.
That was fun.
That
yeah.
would have been great.
I
Oh
liked-
yeah. Isn't there one of the people in that What If show where their What If is that they were a vampire? Was that them?
Yeah, it was called Blade.
Yeah, no, there was like one What If where Howard the Duck got with a woman and had a baby, and now she's an OC from that What If, and she joined the Marvel Universe, and no one cares.
So they just made a show about what if Howard the Duck was Howard the
Pretty much.
Howard the f***.
Marvel's always been corny, to be honest with you.
What if Kang actually just took those mental health breaks?
It would have been a better movie.
What if Kang just actually took mental health breaks?
Yeah. Jonathan
They
Majors
just-
is the guy's name.
Jonathan Majors,
Yes.
yeah.
Jonathan
Nothing
Majors
major.
needed to take a mental health break.
Yeah, nothing major about it. They just finished now the filming of Doomsday, and they're gonna come back for screen. They're gonna look at it and then make the rest of the script from it. So I don't know what the they're doing.
Yeah, are you guys excited for that?
No, they filmed the movie and now they're gonna look at it and then they're gonna do rewrites to see what happens. That's all they're doing. They're
Yeah.
literally. I don't know how so people take breaks now in the middle of movies and so they can film.
I definitely checked out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe after Endgame. Like almost everything that came afterwards. Like I guess Spider-Man Far From Home, whichever one it's called, No Way Home. That one was cool. It was nice. It was okay. Multiverse of Madness was okay. Everything else I watched was just kind of.
I can't watch. I have never seen any Spider-Mans with Zendaya. Because I just don't want to. And I love Spider-Man. He's my favorite character of all time. The Hulk is, but I'm saying, but I just don't care. Whatever.
Yeah, Marvel. The thing is, even when you look back on a lot of those older Marvel movies that like everybody thinks are the great ones, like the first Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Captain America and Thor and all those original movies. Even the first Avengers movie, like, they all kind of have the same issues that the modern ones do. It's just, I think this was your introduction to, like, characters we've been wanting to see for a long time. So, like, the hype of that kind of takes over the fact, like, this movie's kind of mid.
No one wanted to see Iron Man. No one didn't like Iron Man until the movies came out.
That is, you know what, that's fair. I would
And
say Captain America, because, like, people knew about these characters. I guess, I don't know, maybe you need to be a comic book nerd to know them before 2008.
I knew them before. I was happy Iron Man was coming out, but, you know, because Robert Downey Jr. looked just like him, but Hulk, I used to watch the cartoon, but you can't really make anything serious out of a Marvel thing unless you can.
Many moons ago, I was not in a conversation, but I was like hearing and watching a conversation take place, and I didn't add my 2 cents to it. But like, I feel like now it's a good time to bring it up. So you go back. I could be butchering this. You go back to like 2013, 14, 15, right? In comics, in Marvel Comics, right?
Yeah.
The new wave was coming in. So Miles Morales was gonna become the main Spider-Man. Captain Falcon was becoming Captain America. Amadeus Cho was becoming Hulk. I mean, Thor was becoming Jane Foster, and so on and so forth, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like the Avengers team was completely changing for like a modern day in a modern way in like a modern world, right? So somebody from my comic book store, shout out to Max. Max said this to me once, and I think about it often because he's been reading comics since like before any of us were born, right? And he said that like comics have always been pop culture, but like the thing is, when you think about pop culture has changed with the time period that it's in. I mean, you go back in time to like the 80s and the 90s, and you think about like MTV and how MTV's sound actually changed throughout that like good 20 year span, right? So if you look at like Marvel, the cinematic universe now, and you're thinking about like that, it's not really a meme, but you're talking about the meme about like, Kanye was a terrible person, but he did college dropout. I feel the same way about Marvel, because it's just like Marvel is bad right now, but I lived through 2015 Marvel comics. I'm not saying those comics were bad, or I'm not saying those comics were good either. They were just because there was good stuff happening in comics at the time, but you had to kind of find stuff, and like the people who liked it, they loved it, and the people who hated it, they fucking despised it. And then there was a whole thing about race and sexuality and all these characters, like you're ruining the original recipe and so on and so forth. No, I do believe characters have to change. By all means. I do believe characters should change. I do believe things should like alter in like media, because that's the only way for it to go. So the Marvel that we're seeing right now isn't bad. It's just that it's new and no one understands this. And going to what Anthony said a few minutes ago, Anthony had a really good point, because Anthony was just like, if you think about it, like no one really did care about those characters unless you were really involved in comics or games or the movies, the TV shows, right? So to the new person, it's just like, oh my god, this is so corny. A Greek god as a superhero, that's not fair. But then guess what? The Thor movies are my personal favorite movies, mostly because there's no Hulk movies. But the thing is, like, it made sense. It made sense. Like, we had to dabble, we had to experiment, and then like the end result was pretty damn good. I'm not saying just to be optimistic and hope for the best, but like, look, I saw Fantastic Four and I saw Thunderbolts. I'm kind of happy that we went through a little bit of a rough patch just so we can get to the good part.
Well, that's been going on with Marvel and DC since I was born. Have you seen? I've been seeing Rob Liefeld, Captain America titties. Have you seen that?
Yes, I've seen that.
Thing? Have you seen
the
comics in the Have you seen the comics in the 90s? It was all belts, knives, and blood. You've seen, was it like the Deadpool ripoff? Was it from Liefeld? What was it called? I don't remember.
You're talking about like Deathstroke into Deadpool.
No, like it was like Rob Liefeld made someone else Deadpool. It was like so super edgy.
Youngbloods?
Youngbloods.
Did he have a similar design, like with the
yeah, Rob. No, for context, not for context. Like Rob Liefeld had a specific style, and like he stuck with it for a very long time. Like that's the reality of it.
He still can't draw a woman. I'm just saying, I can't draw a woman.
But like that's kind of the thing about Rob Liefeld too, because like ironically he's become sort of a cult classic in himself, and he has like a cult following because like he did encapsulate '90s vision comics.
Like, if you're struggling with your art or anything creative, look at Rob Liefeld. Look at them titties. Look at them women. Keep on going. Put all his art on here because he got a job for Marvel and now he's a legend. You can do what the fuck you want. Just make sure you're doing it and having fun.
Sure, you rip off the right character too.
That's a fact.
Oh yeah. There's like, yeah. And there's like some guy ripping off like artwork. Like it's literally some guy having a heart attack. The meme guy having a heart attack. Ooh, that one.
Yeah.
He literally copied it and put it on like some guy dying on Marvel. I think it was Human Torch.
Huh?
Well, to quote Mallrats, I don't like I hate tracers. I rather read 90 Rob Liefeld comics than like read a tracer. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I definitely agree. It's very distracting when you recognize something.
It is.
And it's like when you're reading a comic, you want to be immersed. Like you want to feel like this is its unique world, this exists, and then when you see stock image man dead 25 on your comic book page, it's a problem. It takes you out of it.
It's a bigger problem if you save the meme too and you instantly see it.
Legit.
And that's the thing. Everyone's been having rough patches. Marvel was great. Like I really love Loki the series. And the first season is still my favorite of the whole time. It's awesome. They kind
So
of
like I wanted you guys just share something real quick. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but like Todd McFarlane. Todd McFarlane. This is his first run. This is the compendium of like the first. This is the first compendium of like the Spawn comics, like his original run, right? So the thing is this, like I don't care what you say, like going like Anthony had me thinking about this, but like I don't know what it is, but when I think of like 90s comics and I think of like the 90s look of comics, like it's not going to get any better than this. It's just gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. That's just me pulling on a random page in this book, but like
you don't know what the is going on, but it looks awesome.
But it pulls you in. It pulls you in. But also like I don't know. Anthony's right. Like how many times am I going to see the same like picture of a woman screaming, running away from something? I don't know.
Like that's the thing. They don't want to go away from 616. The original Marvel universe. Like they're taken from there, I think a little bit too much. It was great when they did Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury. No one did that, and then they copied in the comics.
Yeah. Samuel
L. Jackson is iconic, but you can do that too. You can do something different. People are going to complain, but people didn't want Miles Morales as a Black Spider-Man.
That's my point, and that goes back to what I was saying earlier about like the 2015 Marvel and the 2013-14 Marvel too, because like everyone was freaking the hell out that like they were getting rid of like Spider-Man, and like to be fair. The fans were saying it's not that like he's Hispanic, it's not that like he's black, it's not that like he's young or anything like that, because like those aren't valid reasons. It was the fact that like their childhood hero wasn't gonna be the same hero anymore. That was at least the argument that people were making, and so on and so forth. And like yes, obviously there was some racially charged, and there was some ageist charged. There was some racist and like there was racially charged, and there was also ageist charged comments about this stuff, but also like I'm gonna ask you all a genuinely good question because I've been asking myself this question for a long time. Can people in geek culture be racist?
Yes, 100%. I feel like anybody could be racist. If you set your mind to anything, you could be whatever you want.
People cared about Ariel being black. I was happy about it because it's a fish.
I mean, yeah. I mean, also I found that version of Ariel way more attractive. Just saying.
I think people have the ability nowadays through the power of the internet to be offended about whatever they want in whatever way they want. And like people can be pissed off that other people are pissed off. People can be pissed off because this picture of an apple doesn't look like the apple they know. Like that's a terrible example, but
no, that's a perfect example.
People want familiarity. And they want familiarity on things that they don't even care about. Like, the people complaining about Ariel are, like, the 42-year-old men that weren't going to watch it anyway.
That's a fact.
Just like how a lot of the people that complain about violence in video games or that this character looks this way or that way are people that were never going to play it anyway, so who are you doing that for?
It's because they're starting trouble. This starts the whole thing. That's the point. They get views. It's all about a click.
Pretty much. It's all... But people, I think, have an addiction to I mean, not being offended, because that's saying it too plainly. I had a fancier way of saying it, but
finding the
people
bad
just
in
love
something.
outrage.
Yeah, there you
People
go.
love being outraged over nothing. Shit that does not matter.
I have a friend, and he's pretty much been my role model when it comes to like being responsible, being being clean, being sober, and just like actually moderation, health, and so on and so forth. He's a dear friend of mine. I'm not gonna say his name for reasons, obviously, but like he's been a real dear friend of mine, right? And I remember one day me and him were having like a really good conversation about this, right? Because you learn when you go to like Al-Anon or you go to like AA, you go to NA, you go to any sort of 12-step fellowship or anything like that, you learn this really quickly. A lot of people do survive off of being angry. And what I mean by that is like, I'm not saying like somebody wakes up and just goes, ah, as soon as they wake up, or like people are waking up and they're just like, what could I hate today? Like, no, it doesn't work that way. What I'm saying is like, there's a baseline. Just imagine like a straight line, right? There's a straight line of us being angry, right? And being upset about something, right? Now, most of us in that straight line aren't going to really do anything about it. We're just going to like live with this moderate anger or upset like feeling about something, right? The average person will feel that. Somebody who's more submissive, somebody who's more kind, and somebody who's actually dealing with the everyday anger, the everyday upsets are kind of like the straight line is like a little going down a little bit, just going down, then it comes up a little bit, going down. So it's a little bit, it's a little squiggly going downward, right? The person who's surviving off of anger, though, the person who's surviving off of anger is literally just, it's a straight line, then it goes all the way up, and then it stays up for a little while, then it pivots down, then it goes up again, then it pivots down, and then it goes up again. That's the thing, right? In psychology and mental health study and like counseling and stuff like that, you will learn this idea of like you need to take your emotions and channel them in a good way. And like we're talking about comics, right? So you think of like Wolverine, you think of like the Hulk, you think of like Batman, you think of like all these characters that if you really get down to the nitty gritty of it, something terrible happens to them that gave them either great aggravation, great sadness, and they did something with it. You know what I mean? So the thing is, the average person would hope that would be the case. That like, okay, I broke up with the girl, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna better myself for the rest of this time until I find another person. I lost this job, so you know what? I'm gonna gain more skill. I'm gonna go back to school so I can get a better job. Like you wish for that kind of stuff, but then like there's a more like in depth like trauma response. Like we've gone through a really terrible situation, so it's like this terrible thing happened. I've oppressed or I've acknowledged these things, whether I have or not. And now I'm living with this, but the result of this is either through conditioning or through nature versus nurture. I have to do something about it. See what I'm saying? So going back to the beginning of it, you find people who are like fueled by anger. I think in today's world, we're seeing a lot more of that. I think people just need something to be angry at because it's fun. It's good. It's letting out regression. It's letting out aggression. It's letting out aggravation. Like I was talking about this movie earlier, but like look at the Pick of Destiny. Look at Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny. That scene when the devil's telling him like, God, we have to be angry. There's something in us that just like says like when we get caught up in traffic, you. Like we need that in a really crazy way. We need to be angry once in a while.
I definitely agree that it's one of those things where a healthy dose of all emotions is pretty important. I don't think it's like a process of elimination type of thing where like if everybody's happy, is everybody actually happy all the time? I also feel like the connection you made between comic books and heroes and stuff and the people needing to be outraged. I feel like the people needing to be outraged is more of a villain arc than it is a hero arc.
What's the duality? What's the duality?
Yeah, it's the duality of man. It's one of those things where, like, you know, something bad happens to, I don't know, what's a hero with a tragic backstory? I don't know, Wolverine, you know, and he decides to be a good guy. Similar thing happens to Sabretooth. He decides to be the biggest possibly can. And I feel like that's very much rooted in how the human brain works. I think there's a choice with it, though. I do think that whether or not we know it, I think we subconsciously make the choice of if we're going to let these things that happen to us negatively impact us or positively impact us and grow. I'm not saying it's literally a choice. Like, yes, I'm just gonna wake up and be a tumor today. Like, it's not one of those things. It's something along the lines of like, some people are stubborn. Like, I'll give an example of my own life. It's a little bit personal, but whatever. I grew up in with only one parent. I only grew up with my father. My mother is not like in my life, right? So it's one of those things where I felt like a desertion, mommy issues, all that stupid stuff, right? And it led me down a path where I had so many negative influences coming from females that in my teenage years I hated women.
Mm-hmm.
Versus I could have used that in a way to be more positive and to maybe work on myself or view people in a certain light. Well, hey, everybody makes mistakes and all that. But like when you're younger, you're not going to come to that conclusion. You're just going to be f*** the world.
That's a fact.
A lot of people just aren't growing up and maturing into the mindset of, okay, well, you know, when I was younger, I had a lot of anger and that's why I had that mindset. And now I've changed and I've used it for a positive. I just feel you have a lot of man babies.
And also, I dare say I'm going to say, but like, there's people who are literally angry for no reason.
Yeah, legit.
There's like people, like, I gotta tell you the truth, like, I'm not going to get political. I refuse to get political on this platform, but I will say this. Every time I see somebody angry about something, my immediate response is like, does this even affect the person? Does this like literally outwardly affect this person on a day-to-day, week by week, month by month, year by year, decade by decade, century by century, like situation? If the answer is yes, then my follow-up question to that is like, okay, in what degree does this affect you, right? Because like, I don't know, like, there's so many examples that I don't want to get into right now, but like the day and age we're living in right now, there's people who are just literally angry for no reason.
That's the thing. Like, how could you wake up and be angry about that one thing? Like, is it this body the like all day? Is that what they? Is that, I don't know. I don't have that mindset to see like what goes in their head. Like this like
I think it's a subconscious thing, and I think it's a domino effect.
Is it like the Green Goblin? Sorry, go on. To where?
So I feel like the building blocks can start from something big, like something traumatic from someone's past, that can lead all the way down to the stupidest freaking thing. So like, you can have a guy who had his heart broken when he was 14. He thought he was going to get married to this person. He grows older into his 20s. He builds a distrust for women. It leads to him hating women, and then him hating women leads to him not enjoying Taylor Swift, and then him not enjoying Taylor Swift leads to him leaving a comment on her #1 hit single saying, hey, your song sucks. I don't know.
They're telling me that if you hate a 14-year-old, if you're a kid and you hate women, you're going to wind up hating Taylor Swift and becoming an alpha male? Are you telling me, should we become an alpha male podcast? Is this what you're telling me right now?
I don't advocate for that mindset. I think we should all respect women. I think women are equal and that we should love women. Wife! Make me a sandwich. I am hungry. I'm busy being a world famous podcast star. I'm dead ass. Can you please make me a sandwich? Just do what you're doing and then take your time with what you're doing.
She got so scared too.
My wife's actually in the other room right next to this room, and she literally walked in a few minutes ago and pointed the phone at me and like looked at and pointed at the time. I was just like, oh god, I didn't tell her the lore behind this episode.
Oh yes, no, we'll love women.
Yeah, women are cool. Long story short,
respect them. We're not going to become Andrew Tate.
What I would say is this: I generalized it too hard and didn't get into like the bigger picture of it. I feel like it's a domino effect with trauma, and the trauma could really be something stupid. For each person, their traumatic things are different. And to them, that's something important. I'm not here to say that anybody's specific traumas are dumb. Maybe you explain it to me, in the back of my mind, I might say, oh, that's what you're traumatized about, but whatever. You know, to each their own on that. I think the domino effect of it is that it creates a branch. It creates a root. You we're all, our emotional spectrum, us as humans, us everything. It's a root system. You have your base root, and other branches grow out of it based on your life experiences, based on who you grew up with, based on the things you enjoyed when you were young or whatever you went through. And I don't think it's direct. I think it's all interconnected to each other, like a root or like a tree. To where this person that's leaving this stupid comment, like we were talking about the people that care because Ariel is black. There's probably some deep-rooted racism inside of that person that maybe they don't even truly know where that's coming from. They could have had an experience, I think, whether it's justified or not. I'm not here to justify if somebody gives a shit if Ariel's black or not. At the end of the day, who gives a shit? But I do think there's a psychology to it. I think there's a science to it. I think I'm still doing a bad job of explaining it, but I don't think it's as simple as just somebody waking up and going, I'm gonna be mad about the blacks today.
Yeah, but that's what it feels like sometimes. What I'm saying, it feels like that.
That is what it feels like.
It feels like that. Like,
when you're seeing this stuff over the internet, because realistically, who's seeing these people in public? Not many.
Like, that's the thing. Because here, I'm not to cut you off. Like, this is the thing. Like, you gotta understand something. Like, if you get ever so close to these people aren't stupid. Because for a long time, I thought it's one person that is really good at speaking. It's one person who's really good at talking. It's one person who's like really well educated and well versed and knows how to say things and all the catchphrases and all the catchwords like that. And then he passes it along like a virus to a bunch of other people who aren't that smart, and they become smarter, and then they pass it to other people too. It's like a chain, like you said about the chain reaction, so on and so forth. The thing is this: you will run into these people. And these people are smart. Like I said before, these people are smart. They know how to be closeted sometimes. They know how to be closeted like the gay people that they hate so much. So the thing is this, like, they don't know when to step back and know what to say and how to say it in the right time, in the right place, in the right moment. And then there's like moments where you're sitting there and it's like, oh, you're peeling back that layer of skin that like you can't, like you're peeling back the layer of skin that like you can't show other people, but you feel comfortable enough to say this with me. And they expect you to agree. And they expect you to be there. But the reality is, they're practicing their beliefs and they want to see and test with you if it's going to be cool because they just want somebody to stroke their ego. Because at the end of the day, all we want as humans is for somebody to agree with us, whether it's like minute stuff or it's like the more epic stuff. Like at the end of the day, like we don't have to agree on everything. That's something we have to agree with ourselves with. But people want like the more epic things to be like, we need to take back our country. We need to take back our manhood. We need to take back female empowerment. We need to take back like classism and capitalism and also like all these other isms and stuff like that. And like the thing is this, like I don't want to do any of that. And I'm not saying that to be like I'm picking a side, but there's a point where you kind of sit there and you say like to yourself, like, is picking a side actually making this worse? And that's what it's coming to right now. Because the thing is this, like these like backdoor conversations, like these hidden alley through a dark room in a dark place, like meetings where people are sitting up and talking, they're just like, we need to take back our country. Those people are f***ing lonely. They don't want to take back shit. They just want a group of people to agree with them.
Pretty much. I feel like it's a very human thing to want to have somebody to relate to. I feel like when somebody doesn't have that, that's when you create a lot of these sheltered people that shut down a lot of other people's input or opinions because all they really have is their own opinion to base anything off of. And
yes.
Another thing is, too, it's very much a learned behavior, too. Like, I feel like anybody who is that opinionated in any direction to the point where, you know, it becomes an issue where they become these kind of people that we're talking about that are extreme. I feel like it's because obviously maybe their family is like that. Maybe this guy has a dad like that, a brother like that, a sister like that, a mom like that, a cousin like that. And when they're outside of that little bubble, they realize, oh shit, other people don't agree with this. Why? And it's like, people need to think what me and my family think. That's because we're right. Because everybody's going to think the way they grew up is the right way. Everybody's going to think, like, to alienate the American audience again, and talk about the gypsy culture and stuff. Like, even down to like with the Roma, the way our dialect is, the way we say certain words. It's like, oh, you say Schleiboko, I say Bufati. That's wrong. You're saying it the wrong way. My way's the right way. Everybody has this need to put their version of the world to everybody else. Like,
Yes.
This is the way I think. This is the way I think you should also think. And at the end of the day, it's not that deep. It's really not. I think everybody does this without knowing they're doing this.
Yes.
I think it's just an innately human thing to do.
Before we close out, I just want to say something real quick because like I don't think anyone even realizes the elephants in the room. I think I'm just saying this just to be saying this at this point. But like I want everybody to understand when me and Dewey, I'll close out with this for 1 second. I'll close out with this for a second actually. When me and Dewey started this podcast, we made rules, and I'm not going to explain what those rules are right now at least. But we wanted this to be a place where and Gage, the American audience, could come and watch our videos and like actually have a cool place to go to that's like secure, and you could actually hang out here and like have a good time and hear some really interesting or funny stuff. And like last episode I think was like proof of that with Joe Cola. And for me it's like I feel like the day we lose that security, the day we lose like that idea of like, okay, we're not a safe place anymore, that's the day we stop doing this. And we're not planning on stopping anytime soon. Like I think we're gonna keep going, we're gonna keep trucking along because like this is worth it in my opinion. But there is a weird elephant that's in the room again. I don't think you even noticed the elephant. I think I'm bringing the elephant in the room and now I have to address it. What I'm gonna say is this: like, there's this idea that because you're an alternative WOM, you're not a standard WOM, you're not doing standard practices, you're not doing standard things, that you're against the whole odds. Like you're against every other woman that's ever walked this face of the earth. I want to say on my own behalf, and I think I don't know if I can speak for everybody in this room, but what I will say is this: oh, you got a sandwich? That's nice. Thank you, wife.
Hey, my wife made me that sandwich.
Yeah, like there's this thing where if you say like I don't agree with everything that the WOM are doing, everybody automatically assumes that like you're against all of the WOM. I'm not here to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm never gonna attempt. I'm never gonna try. And full transparency, I'm not ready to do that either. And the thing is, like, I know I'm not living the traditional woman lifestyle, and that's fine. But I'm not also gonna sit on top of it. I'm not gonna sit on top of a building and talk about how much of a different WOM I am and how I'm different from everybody else and I'm better than everybody else because I'm not doing the traditional stuff. I've met a lot of WOM throughout my life. People who are practicing the standard stuff, people who are doing the standard stuff and like just being a regular everyday WOM, not hurting anybody. I don't count those people. Those people are good people. I respect those people and I appreciate those people. But what I will say is this: like, yes, I'm not stupid at the same time. I know that there's certain toxicities in my culture. But also, to quote my friend Cedric, who was an African American advocate for a very long time, and as a black male and the life that he lived and the life that he's living now, he said something to me once and he said, like, Brandon, you're not alone. Like, you are not alone. There's a lot of people in a lot of different cultures that are going through the same thing you're going through, where it's just like they can notice the toxicities of their own culture, and it's not their job to fix it, but it's a job to acknowledge it, and for the next person to be like, okay, it's not that bad, so you could be a good representation of it, and so on and so forth. And yes, there's preconceived notions about things, by all means, but still, if you could just say to yourself, I'm going to be the best example I could possibly be, and not care about what the guys J do and how the guys J do things and how the Roma do things, took me forever to sneak that in. But I finally did it. Anyways, that's my point. Like, I'm not here to talk about the way guys J do things and the way the Roma do things, but the thing is, like, yes, it does come down to that. Like, I don't think me or Dewey or Anthony are going to be the person that's going to make you realize the better ways of life. I don't think we want to either, if I'm being fully transparent with you.
I just want I just want the Tima, I just want all of our kind to accept whatever the hell we want to do. Like, if I, like, not even 10 years ago, if I wanted to do a podcast, they would make fun of me. I couldn't even tell people I was learning to draw because they thought it was corny. But I know what you mean. Like, everything you want to do, they put you down for it. If you wanted to wear your hat backwards, like, what the fuck are you wearing that for? Why it look like that? Huh? What are you doing? I'm not saying that's just anything you do.
Right.
There will always be a douchemano or just like a naysayer. But when the whole thing isn't, then the whole like the whole race is a naysayer because you just don't want to do what they want to do. It's kind of sad.
It is. It is. And then and then because you don't do the one thing, they immediately assume you hate them.
You don't. You don't get this one part. I talked to one of my friends, best friend in the world. I told her you could do whatever you want as long as it makes you happy. That girl got out of depression. She got happier. She became what she wanted to do. But when you think there's no one with you, or if you think people aren't gonna love you just because you want to, dye your hair green, red, then you gotta look for new friends or family.
That's a fact. That is a fact. And that's...
I definitely agree. My personal life experience, what I would say is, what people need to realize if they're going through this identity crisis, or if they're going through a crisis of like the toxicity of their whatever group they belong to, or they don't know if they want to stick with tradition or if they want to defy the tradition, whatever it is, because this could apply to Homa or this could apply to multiple different colors and creeds and whoever's out there. Me personally, I grew up hating my own people. I grew up hating our traditions.
I think we all did. I think everybody in this room.
I think a lot of people
I think everybody...
If you listen, tradition is just like more than two people agreed on and they do it that way for the next 20 years. That's it. That's what tradition
Pretty
is.
much. At the end of the day, there's so many different roads you can take. It's really not just a fork in the road and you either go left or you go right. There's so many paths you can take. And there's so many different things that you could learn along the way to where you could end up in a position that you never thought you would be in. Like,
that's a fact.
Me and my wife, this doesn't even have much to do about Homa anymore at this point. Me and my wife, we hated the idea of marriage. We hated the idea of being in a relationship. We hated the idea of ever having somebody in our life and we're going to live with this person. And that wasn't for us whatsoever. And then for me personally, it went deeper with me, which is the Homa tradition and all that shit. I thought I was going to be doing a way different thing with where my life was at that time before I met my wife. Until we met each other. And it was one of those things where, wow, we met this person that just kind of changes your mind. And not to be corny and say, oh, love changes everything. Because it's not really just about, oh, I found the right person and I'm in love. That, in a way, has everything to do with it. But to apply this to other people and things, because it's not just about a relationship or wanting to be in love. Maybe it's about wanting to be with your own people and all that. At the end of the day, the culture that I hated so much, I'm still in it. And I'm still involved in it. But I'm involved in it in my own way. And I found my group of people that are like-minded. And those people are out there. Because to be honest, Brandon, you, and Alex, and, Chris, and all the other guys in the friend group, I didn't think guys like you existed. That I would be able to share so much of my life with and to be able to be like-minded on a lot of these things. We're like, yes, we're Homa. Yes, there's certain traditions we have. We all understand these are things that exist, but we're all doing our own thing.
That's what I mean. Like, I want it to get to a point one day, if I ever were to have a dream about anything, my one dream is that when I actually have kids, they're never going to know what it's like to be afraid to be who they are. That's my dream. But also, I want my children to meet other children and give them peace knowing that they could be who they are and they could allow other people to be who they are too. So the thing is, like, yes, it's going to sound corny, but going back to what I said earlier about, like, these people just need people to talk to, and these people just need community, they need tribes, they need stuff like that. I didn't say it in that detail, but I'm, like, elaborating on it, right? So the thing is this, like, I think for a long time I hated who I was, and I hated the culture, and I hated everything about the way Homa did things and the way Gajay do things. But the thing is this, like, I took turns. I hated the way everybody did everything. I didn't just pick Homa up for 1 second. I kind of branched out and said I just hate the earth at this point. And then yes, like, divine intervention had a big role in it. And, like, I think it's, to add to what you were saying earlier, Anthony, I don't think love, I think yes, love can change it by all means, but I will say this I will say this, and I think you'll understand where I'm going with this. It takes someone to come around to show you how, and basically they cut through your armor and they're just really good at carving. You know what I mean? It's the tear in your heart, you know? And so the thing is this, like, it comes down to that sometimes. Like, I think if you would have told me, I don't know, let's go back in time, but if you would have told me 15 years ago I was going to have woman no friends the way I do now, I would have said you're a liar, because at that point I did not know anybody. But then I found them, and I found good examples. I found people who were the opposite of the people who hurt me. And that's all it came down to.
Pretty much. The greater point to what I'm trying to get to is the right people are out there. It's not. This isn't just about a relationship or who you're going to marry or whatever. The right people to be in your life are out there, and you never know how they're going to end up in your life. Because I'm not going to go into the whole spiel of telling you my freaking whole life story, but me being married to my wife and having the group of friends I have, it's like a weird butterfly effect of like, without this guy, I wouldn't have knew this guy. Without that guy, I wouldn't have knew that guy. That guy introduced me to my wife, and then this guy introduced me to this big group of friends.
Yeah.
And it's like, when you go back to that first guy, that's the start of this domino effect, you may not even know that guy anymore. That guy may not be in your life anymore. And then maybe that's the only guy you expected to have in your life.
Yes.
And
Yes.
It's one of those things where I just want everybody to know your own path is an option. There's no such thing as left or right. There's left, right, up, down, diagonal, vertical, this way, that
Corkscrew.
way. There's
Corkscrew.
so many paths. And guess what? There ain't no death traps out there either. You could start off on this path and then veer and go onto that path and then make a U-turn and go over here to this path. Like, life, a lot of people say life is short, and I guess somewhat it is. But on the flip side of that coin, life is pretty long. If you live to, I don't know, 60, 70. There's time. When you're young, if you're a teenager, oh my God, you have your whole life ahead of you to figure shit out. Make mistakes. You can end up in the wrong group, and sometimes you need to meet the wrong friends in order to meet the right friends.
That's a fact.
And you need to be involved sometimes. I'm not saying this is for everybody, but sometimes you have to fall onto the wrong side to figure out where the right side is for you.
That's a fact.
Sometimes you have to try out what you're saying you're going to do and find out, oh shit, this isn't for me, and turn back around. Or maybe God just throws something in your lap. And it's one of those things where, oh shit, I wasn't expecting this, and then just kind of see where it goes, and your life ends up on a totally different path than what you were planning. I'll tell you right now, that's what I feel happened to me. I feel like something was just thrown into my lap, and I was like, I was not planning for any of Let's just see how this goes, and now I would say I'm a much better person. I feel like I'm a much happier person. I feel like, feel normal. My version of normal. Not normal in anybody else's eyes. My normal.
Well, that's the other thing. That's called the hero's journey.
Yes,
You're always on a path alone, but you're still figuring out who you are, what you want in life, and there's always going to be ups and downs. Like, was it Joseph, the Technicolor coat? You know, he was the favorite, sold into slavery, got out, sold back. I think a whole bunch of stuff happened, but mostly ups and downs with everything. But the thing is, at the end, he stood up and he says, I am me. I am Dewey. I am Brandon. I am Anthony. But if you can, at the end of the day, if you think there's going to be one more good day, then that's worth it. That's all I can tell you.
And in closing, because I think it's a good part to play it off at. I want to just say something I didn't tell the guys about this before. I know in the last episode, we poked fun at the idea of getting canceled and, you know what I mean, making jokes about the terrible things that we've done. I want to specify one thing, and like, yes, I'm still poking fun at it at the end of the day. us poking fun at the terrible things that we've done doesn't necessarily make it that we've wiped away the terrible thing that we've done. It actually makes it easier to process, and it makes it more easier to digest and actually combat when we are able to look back and like laugh at it or even see the good that came out of it because of that. The terrible things that I did in my past that I don't know if I'm ever gonna get into, at least not in this format. I want to specify one thing that like I know what I've done and know how I've done it, and like I look back at those days all the time and I say to myself like, why did I do it? I've come to an agreement with myself that like I could laugh at it once in a great while, and then like there's other days where I do feel the battle raging inside me, where I'm spiritually, mentally, physically, spirit, whatever, everything in me is being attacked, and I can't deal with the aggravation or the depression that I'm facing in that moment. But what I will say is, if I could look back at it and laugh at it, or if I could look back at it and actually acknowledge it, and not let it attack me, but sit in the same room with it and just acknowledge that it's there, it makes it easier for me to actually ask myself the right questions and ask that situation the questions that I need to know as to who, what, when, where, how, and why the people, places, and things affect me the way that they do. So, yes, like, I think as we grow up, because I think all three of us have a lot more growing up to still do. I think everybody does. I don't think anybody ever stops growing up. I think we're going to keep changing no matter what happens. Because I think Cat Williams said it best. The worst thing you could tell a person is, I hope you never change. Because it's the truth. You need to keep changing.
Yes.
But if I could add to what he's saying, I hope that everyone changes, but they hold on to the things that make them awesome. They hold on to the things that make them freaking cool. And if they can't, if they do hold on to it, maybe it morphs into something even cooler. Like Dewey, I hope one day I can actually open up one of your comics. Anthony.
Oh, one day.
Anthony, when you release that comedy rap album, I'm gonna blast it on my radio like Hulk Hogan. Like Hulk Hogan listening to, well, I forgot the name of the song already.
I Love It by Young Jeezy.
Yeah, I'm gonna blast. I'm gonna literally go back in time. I'm gonna get like an 18 track CD. I'm gonna put your comedy album on that, but I'm gonna do times 18 every single song, and I'm gonna blast that in my truck, my yellow and red truck. I'm gonna blast that. Also, when the time comes and I finally go on tour to do stand up comedy, I would love you guys to be in my crowd. So I'm just saying, like, we're gonna do awesome shit.
I'll be the heckler.
Yes, you will, absolutely.
I'm gonna say very terribly offensive things at your comedy show.
You're gonna bring up the messed up video and be like, Brad, remember for like 20 minutes you only attacked black people?
I think that clip is lost though.
That clip is definitely lost. I'm gonna make it lost. I'm gonna make it lost. We have to reenact that at some point though.
One day.
Yes.
I definitely feel like I crapped out on you guys. I feel like I definitely want to do this again at some point because I know you said earlier we're probably heading towards the end of the podcast. I just want to say this has been really cool. This is my first time like on anything like this at all, like a podcast. And I still have more in the chamber, so I'm very interested to do this again, and I hope this is something that could grow for you guys. To go off of what Brandon is saying, I hope to see the channel or the Spotify or whatever it is that you guys put it on to have all those millions of views and all those fans and selling T-shirts and merch, and then you get Paul Miller on the show.
Yes.
I'm trying to get the little toothbrushes that go in your mouth and play the music. I just want to start podcast for a whole life.
Oh my god, I actually want that. I want that.
I don't know. Yeah, it would be funny. We can sell that.
Before we end this, there is a conversation I wanted to have just to put everything back into a crack-up area.
Okay.
Brandon, have you lived in Boston your whole life?
Most, yes.
Why do you not have the accent?
Okay. No. I want to actually. No, I'm glad somebody finally asked me. You don't have to fight it. I have to fight it. I have to fight the New England accent. Do you know how many times? All right. If you follow me on TikTok, I made one TikTok recently that was a far cry from the content that I actually make. And it's literally me sitting there saying, like, hey, boss, I found that shop how did I say it? Hey, boss, I found that shop you were looking for when we were driving through Boston. It's in Chelsea. Like, that happens. It happens. And then there's other moments where I'm just, like, sitting there, I'm just like, I'll be talking to my wife, and we'll be walking, and I will sit there, and she'll be like, I have to go to the gas station. What's at the gas station? I need to get pack cigs. Like it happens.
Even when you're doing your impression of the accent, I feel like it's not that bad. Like you enunciate really, really well, and I feel like the main stereotype of the Boston accent is that you don't pronounce the R's or you don't enunciate words blend together. Like
All
I
right.
went to Fahaba.
No, okay, so like that's the exaggerated. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. There's the exaggerated Boston accent, then there's like the JFK, then there's just like the I'm actually from New England. You know what I'm saying? Yes.
Transforming.
No, that's what I'm saying. There is. But what I will say is this: there's definitely a lot of different accents in Massachusetts and the greater New England area. But when it comes to like my coast, the North Shore, it always leans on the more like relaxed and more like like relaxed and like more like spoken and like not so much deeper like enunciation. The normal New England accent, for all intents and purposes, is sort of just calm and cool and collected. But then you think about like Team Fortress, and you think about the guy with the bat, and he's just like, I could do this full time if I really wanted to, or something like that. But then you think about the comedic side of it. Right? And the comedic side of it is just like I've had this joke for like 10 fucking years. But I've been saying there's always one New Englander who has a huge fucking family, and their family has that one smart person, but the bar of how smart they are isn't that high. So like there's always gonna be that one guy like, Joseph, oh my god, Joseph, he's going to the community college, he reads books and stuff, he's smart. Joseph's good, Joseph, he got his GED. Joseph, yeah, come on, he's doing the Duolingo, he's learning Spanish and stuff, he's smart, call him.
This is crazy to hear you with the accent now.
It is.
Because, like, I feel like I can't break my accent either. I have, like, it's not a super strong accent, but it's definitely, like, an East Coast, Philly, Jersey accent, like, soft, coffee, all that stuff. Like, I could say coffee, talk. It's just not, I can't. I'm going to get in my car. No, it's like,
I'm going to get in my, no.
All right. Use my credit card. Like, for you, Brandon, I feel like with...
I have a white voice.
In terms of you being from Boston, you're like the guy in the K-pop group that, like, when they interview them, and they're like, what's your favorite food? And you have the one guy's like, I like a hamburger. I like much pizza.
Pizza.
Well, I really love hamburgers.
Yeah.
I love it when I go to New York. And then that
No, you messed it up. He says something way more vet and way more detail. He's like, I really do enjoy American style Japanese cuisine.
Yeah.
Because it reminds me of home.
The next time I'm in Dothan, Alabama, there's a really nice Korean barbecue spot.
Oh my god.
And I really do enjoy it.
Okay, so like there's, like I'll be honest with you, like growing up and stuff like that, there's like a lot of code switching. So like I had the Lomano accent, I had the Gaijikines accent, and I had a white voice. So like I'll be honest with you, like, okay, phone rings. If it's my cousin, hey, it's Joe, what happened to you? That's saying it's one of those, right? If it's a friend that's not a alum calls me, it's like, hey, what's up? What's going on? You know what I mean? That's how it goes. If it's somebody I don't know, if it's work, doctors, school, anything, hey, how's it going? That's the voice you're gonna get. Those are the three voices you're gonna get. Hey, how you doing today? Hey, good morning. Hey, how's it going? You know what I mean? That's the one you're gonna hit. That's the one you're gonna hit. And we were talking earlier about like our family and how they influenced us and like conditioning and stuff like that. My mother was amazing at that.
Really?
My mother was phenomenal. I learned it from her.
Hit the switch.
It is a skill. It is a skill to have like the white voice, I guess.
Yes.
Whatever you want to call it. Because I have a cousin who, when he tried, he was terrible at it. Like, he didn't have a hardcore Gomino accent. He probably sounded no more different than any of us in here. And I don't think we have strong Gomino accents. But when he would talk to Gaijin, he would say, hey, man, what's going on? Yeah, man. Like,
Hey, man.
You're
Hey, man.
overdoing it.
Hey, man.
You're trying too hard.
How's it going, buddy?
You want to give me some money?
No, my go-to when I was like, no, if I'm being literal, my go-to when I started like hanging out with people outside of my culture Like my friend Dante was talking about earlier, he worked at the gas station around the corner from my house, so I would always bother him there because like he had downtime and I had downtime too, and we would always go in the back and smoke joints. But anyways, uh, I would see him. And my go-to, I learned it from him because he'd go, "What's up, buddy?" And like I would do the same thing, "What's up, buddy?" Yeah, I mean that. So from that point forward, I just kept using that everywhere I went. "What's up, buddy?" Yeah. That being said, we actually broke a record so far. So, Anthony, you have the distinct honor and pleasure of actually being the one who broke this record. We actually went an hour and 30 minutes. If we're counting the previous podcast, that we messed up recording, we've actually been recording for 2 hours. So,
That is
yes.
true, yeah.
Yeah, so we actually, congratulations to me. Let's give ourselves, let's clap it out. 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 Yes, clap it out. All right. We talked a lot about life, comedy, pro wrestling, so on and so forth. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I did not mention this in the previous episode, but in the description below, I'm going to put links down to Pedal Dance. That is my friend Doug's band. Doug is the one who actually made our intro music. I'm going to also put the link to our wrestling IG for the person who runs that. She's also the one who made our logo. As always, if you guys want to support us, please like, comment, subscribe, smash that like button, and
And make sure to try to. I have a $500 bounty for anybody that can find Hulk Hogan's sex tape because it is lost media.
I want that.
Brandon wants that, so let's try to make that happen, guys. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, rate 5 stars, and make sure to drop a 100 in the comments if you want to win a chance to see Hulk Hogan's sex tape.
Yeah, and make sure you use the code in the description below for a 15% discount on G Fuel, even though there's lead in it. I don't even know if G Fuel. Yeah, is G Fuel still around?
G Fuel is definitely still a thing. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It's Gamer Subs now. It's
Yeah.
Gamer Subs.
When I stopped looking at thirst traps online, I totally stopped. I lost track of G Fuel. Anyways, but yeah, like I was saying, no, in all seriousness, guys, please like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your friends, leave comments down below. The next episode is going to be a good episode, so please tune in. It's our Halloween special, and we are going to have Paul Miller. So, so everybody, have a good night. Be safe. Have a good time. If I don't see you till then, see you around. Bye.
See ya.
Bye-bye.